I mean, I guess now it's really just been made official. I mean, I've kind of mentally I've had it official for many months, I guess, in my mind. I had a little stint with the Falcons earlier this season for 3 games, and I wasn't really planning on even pursuing anything else to go try to play it all this year. But they called and had an opportunity, and actually had a great time down there and learned a lot from those guys. But yeah, I mean, I thought it's definitely time to step down and to make it official, just because I feel like there's no use in chasing to try to play for any other teams now. I mean, physically and mentally, I definitely feel like the time has come.
AJ, just when you arrived in Green Bay at number 5 overall, I know I've talked to you about this in the past, but dealing with that expectations, how you think you held up and met those expectations?
Yeah, I mean, it's something I've talked about even over the last couple of months. I've done some radio on Sirius XM, and we've talked about it a lot. And yeah, I think everything is about like expectations, I guess, from the outside looking in, and on from expectations from yourself. I think I guess at the time when I was drafted, I wasn't really too aware of I guess how big of a commitment a team makes to take you at number 5 overall. But there's obviously a million plays you'd love to have back, a lot of plays you'd like to have. There's definitely a couple more Super Bowl rings that I feel like we could have had when I was there. So you never fully live up to any expectations that anyone places on you or that you have on yourself, I feel like. But overall, I mean, to spend 9 years there in Green Bay, it's an absolute blessing. I'm super fortunate, and I think even being away from it, I realize that even more now when I step back and kind of look at everything that happened in my 9 years there, and then I got to go play a season for my hometown team, the Cincinnati Bengals. Honestly, I feel just thankful, grateful of how it all kind of played out, and happy to get at least one Super Bowl ring. And more importantly, even though it's a cliche and boring to talk about, like, the people there are amazing. And everyone will tell you that, but I mean, I got to live it for 9 years, and I saw that even after I left.
As great as 2010 was, and to win Super Bowl 45, that maybe there were some other years where you thought the roster was even better than the 2010 team?
Oh, man, that's a good question. I don't know as far as, like, going down the roster. I feel like we were poised for many years that we could have competed to win the Super Bowl. I mean, obviously the following year, we definitely kind of maybe let one slip away. When we went 15-1 after the lockout, everything seemed to be on track, and I don't think we weren't arrogant or anything about it. We still kept our same mindset as a team, but it definitely makes you realize how many things have to go right to win the Super Bowl. I mean, so many different plays throughout the year and throughout the playoffs that just went our way. And the old saying, the harder you work, people say, the harder I work, the more luck I seem to have. I feel like we always put the work in, but for whatever reason, we just, after that run, we couldn't find a way to put it all together again in my time there. And you just realize how tough it is, and I guess it gives you a little bit, obviously, a ton of respect for teams like the Patriots that continue that run, but that window is still open in Green Bay. That's a good thing for all those guys there. As long as Aaron's there at the quarterback, that window will be open.
You mentioned Aaron, and the window was always going to be open as long as he's there. You got so close to him. Why do you think he has been able to maintain his level of play, and why do you think he'll be able to do it into his late 30s and maybe even beyond?
I mean, honestly, he's a special guy. How he approaches the game, there's so many different things. He has the tangibles and the intangibles. But what he does, man, like I said, I sat next to him in team meetings for 9 straight years, got to know him very well. And, I mean, number one, all of the top elite quarterbacks are type A personalities. They're super competitors. You can hear all the stories about how they want to get in a fist fight on a golf course and things like that over one shot. And that's how all those guys, all of the great ones, they are that way. Aaron he's very unique in his own way of how he approaches it, but he has those underlying those things that he holds himself accountable on everybody else. And I think he just does a great job of running the show there. Him and Coach McCarthy really have a good thing going. But I mean, I don't see Aaron slowing down anytime soon. And whatever it is, whatever that it factor is, Aaron has it. And he has all of the physical tools, but he has the mental tools too. And he has supreme confidence in himself and the coaches and the players around him. It's so big as a quarterback. And you can have that confidence that you put in the work to get it done, and he's been to the top, and he's won a ring. I mean, he's never going to lose that. I don't think he's ever going to lose that confidence and that swagger he has, and his work ethic will always be the same. And I think you can see how much he loves being on the football field and loves competing. So there's no reason, barring any crazy injury that would come up for him, that he would ever slow down.
EJ, I know you're doing the Hawkcast now and everything, but what is the next step for you now? Is there anything that you have lined up, or where do you think this is going to take you?
I've been doing a decent amount of work with SiriusXM, co-hosting some NFL shows and college shows with them, and then actually called the Oregon State Stanford game last year up in the booth for Fox. So hopefully, nothing set in stone, but hopefully I'll be doing some college games next year up in the booth. Not sure exactly what network at the time, but hopefully you'd be doing that once the season rolls around. And then also definitely will stay doing radio, doing a little bit of local radio actually here in Columbus. I'm about to start doing some more of that. And also have just starting to dive into some of these some speaking gigs, not like a motivational speaker. I hate that term. I think that doesn't really, I don't know. I'm not trying to sit there and motivate people, but I do like to get up in front of people and speak, and that's basically what my dad has done for over 30 years in the business world. So I'm learning from him, and have a speaking gig tomorrow night here in Columbus for a big group of 600 people, and yeah, going to jump into that even more. So it's been nice, but I really, my ultimate goal is to be up in the booth as a color analyst.